After the 4th of July weekend, I started to really think about what does being free mean? Well, this year has been full of not really feeling free. What makes us feel free? And what is freedom actually? Freedom of self-expression. Freedom to be who we actually are and live up to our highest truths. But how do we find that freedom? How do we express our truth if we don't know what it is? Art has really been a way to be a tool and a practice for this kind of self-discovery, self-expression, and self-empowerment. I like to think of it as a metaphor for searching for gold and digging up treasure. The self-discovery is like a search, but there is no endpoint. Or what we find are sometimes these golden nuggets here and there, and these golden nuggets can be like a truth to us, almost like a puzzle piece. What we use, what we found, give and trade into the world, that is our expression, moving from within outside of us. Express what's inside. And the empowerment is what that expression leads to. So spending that treasure that we find and bringing it to the world outside of us leads to our empowerment. It strengthens this truth, and so we become empowered. Finding ourselves while existing within the world can be challenging too if we are looking too much outside of ourselves. We can get caught up looking to the outside world for our answers. We're looking for a way to express ourselves because we haven't quite found our own unique way to express what we want to say and how we want to say it. But when we get caught up in looking outside of ourselves for an answer, we lose being in touch with ourselves. And we lose that connection. And so we start thinking that there is a template for who we are outside of ourselves, and we're looking for that template. And sometimes when we're really lost and we're looking for the answer, sometimes we do see it in sparks of other people's ways of how they express themselves through their work, whatever it may be. And we can find ourselves seeing, oh, I'm kind of like that, but you're never gonna find yourself completely outside of yourself, right? It doesn't really make sense. We don't find ourselves outside of ourselves. We have to go within. And so when we use art as a tool for that self-discovery, self-expression, self-empowerment, then we are creating a new pathway, a new way of existing, because we are so unique. All of us are so unique in the way we are, the way we think, the way we just exist in this life. And it's so beautiful in all its unique ways. And we just have to discover that way. Being able to get creative, whatever we're doing. You can draw, you can paint, you can build, you can write, anything that is embodying that creative flow that I always talk about. That is our tool, our practice, our focus that gets us in the flow of life and also directs us, unique selves, into finding who we are, tapping into that true self of us. Because when we look outside too much, we get a little distracted and we kind of get a little lost. Art is a way to focus ourselves back inside of us while also exploring. Self-empowerment is all about answering the questions of, who am I? What do I stand for? What do I believe in? And what is my truth? It really is just about living our life that is according to our own truth, which can only be found inside of us. This is challenging because most of the time we are brought up with beliefs and thoughts that aren't really ones that we agree with, yet we are raised with them, so they're kind of stuck in us, like almost like a thorn. So when we go within, we can explore that and be like, I don't really feel like this resonates with me. I'm gonna pull this thorn out, and that's okay to do that, even though if there are parents or close friends or mentors or teachers have kind of told us these things. But as we grow, we realize, hey, this is not serving me to my highest, to my best. I don't resonate with this anymore. So it's a constant internal gardening of our spirit, I guess, or your soul. Self-empowerment is not about, I am powerful and I'm going to dominate kind of energy. It's empowering the self. It is believing in ourselves, believing in what we stand for, believing in our thoughts, believing in our beliefs, and actually adhering to those and living by them. Our art is also our reflection. We can look into this mirror of certain aspects of ourselves that we put out into the world and look back into ourselves, like two mirrors looking at each other, reflecting infinitely. We can ask ourselves, why do we make the things that we do? What is driving us and influencing us to make this? What are we actually expressing, and why are we expressing that? All art is just an act of expression. And sometimes we can get caught up in focusing on how much something is supposed to look like instead of just enjoying that journey of our very own unique journey of, hey, you don't know how it's going to come out, but you're going to find your own way. And I believe that's what life is, finding our own way. And so is art. Art is life, and life is an art. When we start to find bits of our truth through this journey of self-discovery, just what feels right to us in our own minds and hearts, then we really start to speak our truth. And that expression expands throughout the rest of our life. It can begin with our artwork, since it can be a safe place to confidentially and fully reveal ourselves to only ourselves, and then naturally it will expand when we are comfortable for it to do so. To continue to create our art is a practice, and that's all it really is. We can make this a practice that refines us into our best and towards our highest potential, and whatever our unique truths may be. So with this kind of, I guess, just thoughts to think about, and how are you feeling free, or maybe how are you not feeling free within your life? What is feeling suppressed? What wants to be voiced within you? There are a lot of feelings within us that are uncomfortable sometimes to get out, and our act of creating is our way to let those feelings, emotions, and thoughts flow. it is our outlet. So when we get comfortable with expressing ourselves within our outlets, then we feel more comfortable within ourselves and with those emotions and feelings. Art really is a beautiful gift that has given back to us the time and journey and experience and fun to connect with ourselves and what we want to say in this world, and to power and strengthen who we are as an individual. I hope that this was a helpful message to anyone who needed to hear it, and please comment or chime in to this discussion if anyone else has anything to share. Thanks for listening, and see you next time.